This is Fox in a Box. Welcome back to Unboxing Time. I'm your host Charlie, and let's get right into this box. I am very excited to open this box. I am looking forward to this so much so that it's already open to a degree. Now, unfortunately, when I first received this box, there is a few dents in the sides and the bottom corners. I will show you in a sec. The bottom corners have also been heavily dented, and unfortunately, as you will see, the inner box is also a bit dented. So I had to double check to make sure everything was okay on the inside. I didn't open everything though, so any reactions from the second box opening after is genuine. This is going to be unscripted because I'm going to do this straight away. I'm just too excited and I need to get inside this box. Now, this is going to be a first look at the new Xbox Series X. So if we just open up these flaps, you get to see the box. Unfortunately, there is a scratch on the box here. Not much can be said about that. It must have just got damaged at some point. So what we'll do is we'll remove this inner box from the packaging, and I'll show you a bit of what it says inside and a few of the specs according to the outer box. So what I'm going to do is very carefully place this upside down, because what I will tell you now is it's a very deceptively heavy box, and it is very tightly packed inside that box it came in. Okay, so here we are, we're at the back of the box, and as you can see, Master Chief on the back's iconic. Xbox legend, for sure. Power your dreams. Good slogan. Let's hope it carries over into the actual console itself. The back here is just more marketing stuff. Tells you about Game Pass. Tells you about thousands of games you can play across 4 generations. Original, 360, Xbox One, and this current gen, Series X. Redefined speed with Xbox's velocity architecture. I'm assuming this is also referring to the fact it's got an SSD and will be a lot quicker than your previous consoles, which it also states here, the fastest, most powerful Xbox ever. I can believe that because it's the newest. Okay, so here we have the side of the box where it tells you the features available on this current console. So at the top here you can see it says 4K 120 frames per second. I believe the Xbox One X could also run 4K, but this one will be running the 4K in conjunction with 8K HDR. High dynamic range, that's something to do with colours. Better range of colours, makes pictures pop so much better. So those two in conjunction make this a way better console for sure. Xbox velocity architecture, not quite sure what it means by that, but it could be just gobbledygook just to make it sound better than it is. Alright, so over here we'll see it says 1TB SSD. Decent size. They are releasing a memory card like they used to do on the old consoles. If you ever remember, like a Xbox 360 used to get the small little memory cards, and also like the retro GameCubes, they also came with memory cards. PS2s came with memory cards. This is offering you a memory card expansion. There'll probably be more news about whether or not we can have our own hard drives and whatnot. This will be something I will be testing. Variable refresh rate, I'm just assuming it just means that the refresh rate is going to be much higher on this console than previous ones. 4K Blu-ray player, well, let's be honest, who watches Blu-ray DVDs? Still, nice feature to have for those who have them, but not a selling point. One thing I will note is here, it says the includes. Now this includes a console, obviously. This includes a wireless controller, which will be very similar to the old Xbox controller, but slightly remodeled. Not too different, but hopefully better. I think it's got a better grip. We will see that once I open it. Ultra high speed HDMI, always good. Better picture quality, better refresh rates, all that jazz. Wireless network capability, always good to have that. But as a suggestion, I suggest a Ethernet cable. Always a better option here, because better off having the fastest internet possible than not. Okay, so now we'll get into the nitty gritty of what's inside the box. Okay, so we're inside the box now, and from first impressions, quite sturdy. Bring this back up here. This flap here on the inside, there is a decent amount of padding. So even if your box is dented, as long as it's not being thrown around like a monkey throws poo, you should be fine. So in here I see two boxes. The Xbox, the console, and this one at the back. Very nice shape. It's got a very slanted feel to it, despite the shape of the Xbox being a very square, interesting box design. Very padded. Generally, I think it should be relatively safe if it comes a bit banged up. Alright, so I've not actually looked at this yet, but I will soon. Let's check what's inside this box. So, in this box, we have power cable, instruction booklet, high-speed HDMI for your 4K and 8K HDR. And then in here we have the most exciting part, or one of the most exciting parts, the new controller. We will unbox that in a second. So let's have a look at the controller. There you go. So I'm just going to have a little play around with it and see what I can noticeably notice that's different. Oh, okay, interesting. Okay, so here we have is my Elite controller, the one I'm currently using. I'm fairly certain if you have these controllers, or even the previous Xbox controllers, you can still use these on the new console. Pretty much all the same layout. The only difference really is this button here, which looks like a share button for easier sharing and capturing. One thing I will note is this button, the home button, it presses in very easily, very softly. Whether or not that's going to be an issue, I highly doubt it, but it's just an interesting change. They have changed this wheel from the original one. On the Elite though, you can change what kind of directional pad you want. So they've given it the rounded one, and you can get the rounded one for the Elite as well. Now, unfortunately, we still have to use batteries. In the Elite, you do get a rechargeable battery pack built in. This is honestly one of the best parts of this controller, is the built-in battery pack, because it just lasts forever and ever. The batteries in this is amazing. I was very dubious at first because I liked having my own battery packs, but the ones they've given you here, I barely go 2 days without it dying on me. So in that respect, it's quite sad it didn't come over, but oh well. This is the cheaper one, and they want you to buy the Elite, so they have to save some features for the Elite. Here's the controllers. It is very light, much lighter than the Elite. Has a textured feel. Alright, so around the grips here, it is definitely textured to help you grip onto the controller whilst gaming. That's a very good addition actually, because that's like a premium feature you get on most controllers these days. So yeah, overall, okay. I'll still go for the Elite personally, but I'll be curious to see how this actually works in game. Alright, so if we move that controller out the way, also comes with a pair of Duracell batteries. Alright, so now we're going to get into the box itself, which personally, I'm excited about. So very excited. Looks decently big. How can I compare it? It is roughly the size of... There you go. Alright, so it's roughly the size of a small wireless Bluetooth keyboard. Not really much I can say on that apart from yeah, small keyboard console. Okay, so let's take this console out and move the box. Now, one thing I would say right now is it's a lot heavier than you'd expect. However, I don't see that as a bad thing. I think that means it's more sturdy, has a lot more in it that's going to help the console run that much smoother, that much prettier, etc. So they've wrapped it in this almost like styrofoam kind of wrapping. Not sure why. Maybe to make it seem a bit more like a present. Alright, here is the console itself. Interesting. Okay, cool. So, here we are with the console itself. This is probably the side that you can lay it down on if you would like to lay it flat. Hence these little bobbles are little stands. Let's have a look at the bottom. Okay, here we go. This is nice. It has almost like air vents to help it keep cool. I hear it gets quite hot very quickly. Okay, so this little disc here is obviously where you can stand your Xbox upright. Underneath it says Xbox, hello from Seattle. Very nice message for everyone who gets an Xbox. We'll lay it down this side. Not much to say, just says Xbox. Good logo, very small, minimalistic. Very much, I cannot stress enough, the Xbox is a box. A long box, if anything. Alright. And here we go. This is probably the money shot here. So we have one USB port at the front here. We have the button to connect your controller up to your console. We have what looks like a disk drive. Very interesting design, how it just slides off the end here. This would be good though, because on my Xbox One currently, the drive is gone. Essentially, this console will upscale your older games and make them look prettier than they actually were. Alright, here we have a button. I'm assuming this is the eject. Don't worry, it's not going to eject out your house. It'll just eject the disc that you're not playing. So here is the, I'm assuming, the on button. Firm, nice, simple. That'll be very nice if it lights up, hopefully. So now we have what is, I'm considering, the back of the console. This is interesting, actually. So if this is standing upright, everything is technically sideways, which I find interesting because I thought the orientation of this machine is usually upright, so I thought all this would be kind of around to cater to that, but it is not. It is vertical. So if you're struggling to plug it in, it's because they're all catering to the fact that it's laying down on the little stubby legs it has down here. Now, what I can see is storage expansion right here. This is where your memory card will go in. It's kind of cute, but it's unfortunately I probably would like that on the front because it's got that retro feel to it then. Just like the good old days we had memory cards for consoles. Okay, so you've got an Ethernet port for fast internet connection, power, a lot more vents. I'm actually happy at the amount of vents this has because I can't stress enough at how badly a hot console can affect its health. Power, HDMI out, no HDMI in, which means no TV. surprised by that, but also not surprised because it's trying to deviate away from the home entertainment system and become solely a gaming experience. Overall, very neat, very tidy. A lot of space here, not getting used for anything. Surprised by that, but also, what can I say? So, here is the final part to show you. This is the top of the console. Once again, a lot of vents, good for circulation, good for ventilation. Overall, good design. Very big holes though. That is one thing I'm surprised about. With holes this big, I'm kind of worried stuff will get in there. Stuff that shouldn't be in there. Be it flies, insects, be it dirt, be it cat fur. I own a cat, so this is a legit problem I could worry about. But overall, if it keeps the console cool and doesn't provide any problems in the future, this could actually be quite a nice design. It does concave a tiny bit. Don't know if you can tell, but yeah, overall, interesting. I'll say that's interesting. So that's the console as a whole. So with that, leave a comment down below if you have any other questions about the console. I'll try my best to answer everyone. I'm going to use this last part now just to show you some footage from when I've turned on the console. From here you'll see a few things that are new but mostly the same from the Xbox One, since they have updated the Xbox One to have the same HUD as the Xbox Series X. So here is a shop, pretty much the same shop that they've upgraded the Xbox One to. Nothing much to say here. It's a bit sad that they haven't added any advanced features that the Xbox One couldn't do itself, but that's maybe to come in the future. That could very well come in the future. Hopefully it does. So here I'm going to show you my profile. Now the reason I'm doing that is because it gives you this option in the back to have a theme. That seems to be a new option. I'll come back to that in a second though. So now I'm showing you the captures. The reason I'm showing you the captures is because it gives you the option for 4K captures. Now that's good, but it caps to 30 seconds. It's not popping up there though because I'm using my capture card, which is only 1080p. However, it does give you the option for 4K. As well as display, it should say 4K, and then to the right there, if you go back or pause, you'll see it also said 4K TV. It will tell you whether or not your 4K TV is able to run 4K and to what degree. So now I'm going to show you some of the themes that you can have. There's quite a few from the get-go. Hopefully they'll add more in the future. We will definitely see, but at the moment they've given us a solid handful. So now I'm going to just let you watch a bit of gameplay while I take you through the pros and cons. So, the pros. First of all, it's a powerful console, very powerful console, probably the most powerful console out there at the moment. It's quick, and I can tell you now that I have already seen that in games like Minecraft, right? Listen, don't laugh. Because on Minecraft, if you build in one area too much, you have too many things alive in one area, on the Xbox One, it slows down of that whole segment. And if you live in a village or something, or you build in one area, and you're there a lot, it becomes a nuisance. And I have noticed now that that isn't an issue. It's gone. It was an issue, it's now not it's just not an issue no more. So, I'm happy with that, and hopefully on bigger games than Minecraft, that continues. It's also 4K. 4K is just generally the best for now, so that's always a positive. It's also backwards compatible over 4 generations, hopefully making Xbox original and Xbox 360 games that bit more crisper, that much better, hopefully. But they have confirmed that they should be up-resed and they should look a lot better. Alright, so 4K and backwards compatible, huge bonus.
Overall, it's a huge upgrade. It really is, but obviously there's pros and there's cons, and there's quite a few cons, unfortunately. So first of all, the controller. I prefer the Elite completely. The new one is nice. It's probably an upgrade from the normal controller if you've got one of those. But if you've got the Elite, unfortunately, it doesn't really rival that, which makes sense. The Elite is a flagship control. They want you to buy the next one when they make it. But the one thing I'm sad about is it doesn't come with a built-in battery pack. That would have been kind of the perfect component to have on that controller, even if you kept off all the expensive parts, like the metal parts, etc. Bit sad there's no more advanced features that the Xbox One cannot do itself, but that's just me being picky, I guess. Maybe they'll add that in later. Hopefully they'll add that in later. That would be nice to have things that this console can do that the previous one just simply couldn't. 4K game clips being too short, a maximum of 30 seconds. Let's be honest, most rounds like this round here lasts at least a minute, 2 minutes max. So it'd be nice to have game clips that last more than 30 seconds. And yeah, the price and memory card price, that's expensive. Let's be honest, it's expensive. I would go for the S. It's just a better version of a Xbox One X, but if you want the most powerful and the best of the best, the X is the way to go. So yeah, that's a rundown of everything. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Hopefully I've given you some useful information. If you're excited, leave a like. If you're going to get one, leave a like. Otherwise, thank you for watching. If you want to see more videos, or if you want any other types of videos, be sure to leave a comment, and thank you for watching. Stay foxy. Oh, and subscribe.